Look at it not as a political issue, but as a human issue.
Protesters fill downtown Sarasota, joining the national outcry against separating immigrant children from their families. Plus, a rainy start to the Sarasota Grand Prix, how tomorrow is shaping up for those final races, and one Aquacross rider shares his inspirational comeback story. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 11.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, protesters filling 5 Points Park in downtown Sarasota to denounce the separation of children and families at the U.S. border.
Love, not hate, makes America great. Love, not hate, makes America great.
That massive crowd chanting against the White House's zero-tolerance immigration policy and the separation of thousands of children from their parents and families at the U.S.-Mexico border. People holding candles, glow sticks, and of course signs with the underlying or directly written message, quote, "Families belong together." Among those protesters, a Mexican immigrant, now an American citizen, telling ABC 7 she could no longer stay silent on this issue.
Look at it not as a political issue, but as a human issue. My family are very productive members of society, and we have a lot to contribute.
We're all people. We're all just wanting to provide for our family.
Those concerns here on the Suncoast echoed around the country earlier today as hundreds of thousands of demonstrators took to the streets in over 700 planned marches, all united under the banner "Families Belong Together." Demonstrators including famous actors and musicians calling for the immediate reunion of children with their parents.
This is all of our fight, because if it can happen to any child, it can happen to my child and your child and all of our children.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order last week reversing his administration's practice of separating families, but more than 2,000 children are still waiting to be reunited with their parents. Some lawmakers are calling on the government to abolish immigration and customs enforcement. Trump came to ICE's defense on Saturday, tweeting his support, quote, "to the great and brave men and women of ICE," writing, "They're doing a fantastic job." New details tonight following a deadly rampage in a Maryland newsroom. We are learning much more about the 38-year-old gunman charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder, years of violent rants, and court documents revealing what he called his oath to kill, as ABC's Gio Benitez reports that community in mourning after the attack on the Capital Gazette in Annapolis.
Tonight, the chilling oath revealed in court documents showing a years-long grudge against the Capital Gazette by the man who allegedly opened fire into its newsroom, killing 5. Jared Ramos writing in 2014 that he has sworn a legal oath that he would like to kill one of the paper's writers, and he still would. That writer, 3 years earlier, penning this article, "Jared wants to be your friend," detailing the chilling online encounters between Ramos and a high school classmate. That classmate, according to her attorney, leaving the state in fear. Ramos pled guilty to harassment.
He befriended her on Facebook, and he would use all the information that he gathered from her to attack her. He would tell her to do things like hang herself.
Ramos upset at the article, lashing out on Twitter in this tweet, writing that he wished 2 of the paper's editors would cease breathing.
We had actually contacted the police.
Police interviewed Ramos, but claim employees at the paper did not want to press charges because it might inflame the situation. An officer involved in the investigation writing that he did not believe that Ramos was a threat. Now Ramos is behind bars, facing 5 counts of first-degree murder as hundreds took to the streets Friday to remember the 5 people killed in the shooting Thursday. Some of the paper's reporters also there, like Rachel Pasella, who was injured in the attack.
What do I want the world to know about my colleagues? That I'll miss them.
The paper's staff resilient, releasing this video of them printing the Saturday edition.
An update now on an ongoing death investigation in Venice. Deputies identifying Venice man David O'Ree as the missing kayaker. He was found dead yesterday near the Myakka River Bridge near Tamiami Trail and River Road. Sarasota County deputies and the Florida Fish and Wildlife investigating, and so far they have ruled out a crash. Next, they will be working with the medical examiner's office to determine a cause of death. And now to a rescue mission 2 miles west of Big Pass. A Tarpon Springs man is recovering tonight after he had to be evacuated from his sailboat by the Coast Guard. The man radioing in that he was too seasick to continue sailing. Tonight, responders reminding boaters to always check the weather before leaving on a boat and always try to have another person on board to assist if fatigue starts to set in. Powerboat racing started Saturday for the annual Sarasota Grand Prix, which for the last few years has included aquacross or jet ski racing. One pro racer is back on the Suncoast as well, inspiring others with his story, enduring hardship on an unlikely path to professional racing. At a meet and greet for the Sarasota Grand Prix, Anthony Radatic hardly stands out. Behind the table, you can't see he's an Army veteran. You wouldn't know he only rode a jet ski for the first time 8 years ago. And until you stood up, you might not see that he can't.
That's the biggest reason why I like coming out here is because there's so many kids that get inspired and get motivated once they see me.
Radatic was paralyzed in a motorcycle accident in 2004, ending a military career as a Black Hawk helicopter pilot. It was years before he found a similar thrill in personal watercraft racing.
I love it. It's definitely a challenge, and racing against those guys makes me feel like I'm normal, because you can't really tell that I'm disabled.
That took some practice, as the lower body helps aquacross enduro racers stabilize their bodies for up to 30 minutes of high speeds on the water.
I really have to read the waves and negotiate them before I come up to it.
Think the other racers feel bad? Think again. Anthony comes into Sarasota ranked top 10 in the U.S. for his class.
I don't think the other riders see it as a disadvantage anymore.
And while all of these professional athletes have fans to please, Radatic's message reaches a different crowd.
To stay out there, do like fun things that they enjoy doing, and never to give up.
Certainly an inspiring story, but less than inspiring weather today for that first day of racing. Let's take it over to Wendy Ross for a check on our first alert weather. Wendy, will tomorrow be any better?
Oh my goodness, well, it's better now. It's better now. If we could just do the races right now, it would be just fine, because we have partly cloudy skies across the region. We don't have any rain right now coming across our area. However, it is going to change during the overnight time frame, and we will be seeing some showers coming onshore throughout the overnight period into the early morning hours tomorrow. And we have had a couple of showers that were located right around Holmes Beach. They've now moved into Tampa Bay. At this hour, we are left with partly cloudy skies and that isolated shower moving into Tampa Bay. In a broader picture, you can see some more showers out here over the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, one lone shower forming out here, but we are not expecting to get the rains back in here until the overnight time period around 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and then they'll continue into the morning hours. And this is what our future forecast looks like. You can see these showers starting to form up along the west coast, and then they'll be moving on towards the northeast as the day progresses. But keep in mind, we will see those showers during the early morning time period. Adam?
All right, thank you, Wendy. Plans for a new public safety facility in Venice have been unveiled. City leaders giving a thumbs up this week to concept plans for a new public safety facility on East Venice Avenue. It will be the new home for the Venice Police Department. Take a look at that concept plan unveiled in lieu of a floor layout plan, which can't be made public for security reasons. The new building will be an upgrade from the current police station, which has had complaints of leaking. Groundbreaking is not expected, however, until 2019. Construction is now underway at a new aquatic center in Northport, the fulfillment of years and years of requests. The city breaking ground today on that $10 million project. We spoke to the city's Parks and Recreation manager about what you can expect at this new center.
There's a lazy river which will set it off from all other pools and facilities like this around. It's the only lazy river for 3 counties, so we know that that will be a great draw for families. The pool itself was designed so that we could have swim meets and competitions. We're going to have 3 slides. One is a bowl slide that specifically the teenage population has really looked for, and then we also will have a small splash pad for kids.
Construction is set to be completed by July of next year. Perfect timing. Well, in honor of July Parks and Recreation Month, the city of Northport, is asking for your help naming a new playground. The future Boundless Playground has been designed for all children, especially those with physical, developmental, cognitive, and sensory disabilities. Construction for that Boundless Playground is currently underway at the Garden of 5 Senses off Pan American Boulevard. The project is expected to be completed in November, and you can send in your ideas for a possible name all month long. And we have a link that you can find on our website, mysuncoast.com, that'll tell you more about how you can send in those suggestions. Well, still to come here on ABC 7, with federal housing assistance set to expire for thousands of hurricane survivors, how a Florida activist group is trying to help. Plus, a look at the extreme summer weather sweeping across the country.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7.
In the past, we've always been able to get along. We've always had difference of opinions, but they've never affected the board. I feel like it's in chaos all the time.
The Sarasota School Board and Sheriff's Office bury the hatchet on school safety, and the good news is it's not in each other's back. I'm Alan Cohn. More on the peace treaty at the trapezoid.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Suncoast Charities for Children and Powerboat P1 encourages you to share the beach with our marine wildlife during the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival. You can share the beach with our amazing sea turtles by waiting until sunrise to set up. Stay clear of nesting areas for our beautiful birds, and please don't forget our beloved manatees. Never swim towards them, and always obey manatees' slow speed zones. Together, we can all enjoy the races and share the beach.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Well, in less than an hour, federal housing assistance will expire for thousands of hurricane survivors here in the state, but not before a lawsuit will try to put a stop to it. A civil rights group is now seeking a federal injunction to block the eviction of Puerto Rican hurricane refugees from Florida hotels, as the assistance vouchers they received are set to expire. The Puerto Rican community that is here came to Florida after last year's Hurricane Maria, a Category 4 storm that devastated their home island. It caused more than $100 billion in damage when it hit, and the island is still struggling to recover. More than 120 million Americans suffering under scorching temperatures, heat watches and warnings from the plains through the Northeast. Tomorrow, many places expected to hit triple digits. ABC's Linda Lopez on the hottest heat wave of the season.
From the Midwest to the East Coast, excessive and dangerous heat now gripping a third of the nation. And all of that blistering weather expected to stick around for days. A heat emergency declared in Boston.
As of tomorrow morning, we're declaring a heat emergency in the city of Boston.
Pretty freaking hot. I had to change it to some shorts.
First responders in Milwaukee bringing in extra staff. More than 40 ambulances prepped and ready to go at any moment. Heat-related calls already up this month 30%.
The heat-related symptoms could be something as simple as a muscle cramp, leading all the way up to unconscious, vomiting, nausea, stomach cramps, just feeling weak, feeling tired, those kinds of things.
And out west, wildfires continue to burn. Tinder-dry conditions fueling Colorado's spring fire. More than 28,000 acres burned there. That fire not yet contained. Residents in La Vera under pre-evacuation.
We're prepared. We've got our vehicles all packed up and we're ready. We're ready to go.
Back east, residents doing everything they can to stay cool. This week's hot weather essentials: sunblock, shade, and plenty of water.
Just drinking lots of water and just staying in the shade as much as we can.
And for those toughing out this scorching heat, bear in mind, it could always be worse.
We are from Atlanta, and this is not hot.
And millions are not expected to get a break from this heat wave anytime soon. For the Northeast, temperatures are expected to stay in the 90s for the next 7 days. Linda Lopez, ABC News, New York.
Did I catch a little bit of ice cream at the end of that?
That's how you cool off. That's
Sounds
how you do
pretty
it.
good.
And 90s. I mean, we normally are in the 90s this time of the year.
Yeah, it's
That's
hard to
normal.
tell what's unusually hot
I know.
during the summer here.
And it's all a relative thing. For some places,
Yeah.
that's pretty hot. And of course, we can deal with the heat because we have air conditioning. We have ways of handling the heat. Some places just don't.
Plus, I mean, the rain today was actually a nice break. I know it's not what everybody wants on a Saturday, but it's kind of a nice break from the heat a little bit.
It was a lazy day, wasn't it? It was the perfect day to be indoors, to get caught up in inside chores and maybe get to read a good book or see a
We
great
all love
movie.
getting caught up on some inside chores.
Oh, yes,
I know
I'll
I
bet
do.
you do. I'll bet you do. Well, we are looking at a low-pressure system that is over the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, and that's what's causing all the wet weather we've been getting. This is the enhanced satellite view of it, and we are looking at low pressure moving away from the state of Florida. It's moving off towards the northwest, but it has been responsible for all of the wet weather we got yesterday and today, and it's also bringing in the winds right here out of the Gulf of Mexico and pushing everything on shore. So that's why we've been getting the showers and the thunderstorms that we had throughout the day today. But things have come to an end, at least for now. And this is a short-lived respite because we are going to get showers back in during the overnight time period, and they are going to be present along the west coast of Florida, right along the coastline throughout the early morning hours. Right now we've got showers out here in the Gulf of Mexico spinning around that low-pressure center, and then right here we've got partly cloudy skies, a couple of showers just now beginning to show up, but Titan radar is showing that the thunderstorms are gone, so we're not looking at any thunderstorm activity at this hour. But by it's 11 o'clock now, nothing developing along our coastline, but as the morning hours wear on, by 1:30 in the morning we'll start to see some showers. The occasional thunderstorm is also possible, and then you'll see by 3 o'clock in the morning more activity along the west coast, and then by 5 it becomes a little bit more obvious that we are going to be getting more showers coming on in, and we're starting to see them all feeding on through, and we'll get the rain throughout the morning, but then by the afternoon hours those rain chances really do die down, and we're going to be left with partly cloudy skies with the occasional shower coming on through, and then we start it all over again on Monday. So that's how our week is going to be shaping up. And in the meantime, we've had almost 4 inches of rain in pockets around the west coast. So we've had 2.5 inches, almost 3 inches of rainfall. You can see places where we're getting very close to that 4-inch mark. And that's the kind of rainfall we've experienced throughout the day. And our forecast is showing that tomorrow, once again, we'll see the best chances of rain just along the coastline and moving inland. And so from inland over is where we're going to see the heaviest rainfall taking place. And we have plenty of moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's helping to bring about all of this wet weather. Today we had a high of 84 degrees because of all the clouds and all the rain that came about. 75 was the overnight low. And current temperatures at this hour all around the state, 70s north and central Florida, and still some 80s down to our south. But it's not going to get much cooler than the temperatures that you see right here. If you're heading out to do any boating tomorrow, it's the morning hours when we're going to be seeing the rain. We'll expect to see an 86-degree reading, off and on showers after about 12 o'clock, but for the most part, it will be partly cloudy skies. And for tonight, cloudy with an isolated thunderstorm developing for the overnight time period, and this is what it looks like over the next several days. For the rest of the weekend, a 40% chance of rain, again, morning showers, and then during the afternoon it starts to clear out, and then we keep those rain chances at a 40 to 50% chance for the next several days. Adam?
Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Rays have taken a series lead against the defending champion Houston Astros following a surprising power surge against one of the best pitchers in the game. Former Cy Young winner Justin Verlander, no match for the Rays bats today, loading the bases in the first with no outs, and Wilson Ramos coming up with an RBI double off the wall. Joey Wendell would add a sacrifice fly, and the Rays taking a 3-0 lead in the first inning. Bases would be loaded again in the second for Ramos, who delivers again. 2 strike, 2 outs, and 2 more RBIs for the Rays catcher. Sergio Romo would come in and close the door in the 9th. The Rays firing on all cylinders tonight. They win it 5-2. It was opposite day in Cincinnati as the Reds sent out Michael Lorenzen to pinch hit in the 7th. Lorenzen is a pitcher, but he has been hotter than most hitters this week. That's his 3rd home run in less than 7 days, including in 3 straight at-bats. It was a grand slam. He's the 2nd Reds pitcher to do so this week. First time 2 pitchers have hit a grand slam in the same season from the same team since 1973. In the very next half inning, same game, the Brewers would bring in their catcher to pitch. It's all backwards up in Cincinnati today. Eric Kratz throwing to 6 batters in the 8th, walking Sarasota native Scooter Gennett, you saw right there. That was a strikeout that he picked up on a 59-mile-per-hour pitch. 2 runners score, and the Brewers lose 12-3 in the game. The reigning 2-time NBA Finals MVP has signed on for 2 more years in Golden State. Or is close to signing on. Kevin Durant and the Warriors reaching a 2-year deal believed to be worth $30.5 million next season. That reported deal has a caveat, which is an option to allow Durant to become a free agent next summer. The deal reportedly can't be signed until Friday. That's a look at sports. Your winning lotto numbers are straight ahead. Stay with us.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Look at her. She's wagging her tail.
Cheers and tears of joy erupting shortly after midnight on Friday when a puppy's 31-hour ordeal came to a happy end. That deaf puppy named Toffee fell into a 50-foot hole while out playing with her family. After multiple failed attempts, rescue crews were finally able to lure her into a net by using sardines. And miraculously, she survived that trip to a rocky crevice unharmed.
Oh, bless her.
Toffee, the deaf puppy. It's got to add some extra challenges there.
Oh my goodness.
Trying
Oh,
to get
did
it
you
out.
see that picture of her?
Yeah, it was
She
kinda
just,
cute off
oh,
the top.
she's so swole puppy. I mean,
Yeah.
my goodness, right?
We did not show enough puppy, I don't think, there.
No,
at
I
the
didn't
end.
see enough of that. But we are going to see plenty of rain in the morning hours. Just be prepared for that, and then things will quiet down for the afternoon.
And we will see you again tomorrow at 6:30.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC 7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk.
This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The body, it is a work of art and a powerful ally in the fight against cancer. A new approach called immunotherapy works by helping our immune system correctly identify and eradicate many types of cancer cells. Speak with your doctor and visit su2c.org/immunotherapy to learn more. Your body might just be your greatest hope.
Monday at 9 on Suncoast View.
It's a holiday week and we have some fun new foods to try. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. If you are counting carbs or going gluten-free, you have to hear about no oodles and how you can put pasta back on the menu. Then why should kids have all the fun with popsicles? You can get a grown-up buzz with Buzz Pops, plus the latest on Suncoast judicial candidates and the Glenn Family Bakery in the kitchen.
Monday at 9 on Suncoast View.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.